What is it you associate with excitement? Because sometimes what feels like chemistry is actually anxiety, and it's not good for us.
See, it always goes back to that nervous system. You have a longtime friend, but every time you leave her, you feel drained and slightly judged.
You need to take a little bit more responsibility for how those interactions go and not just go there and be passive on the receiving end of somebody who's fire hosing negativity on you.
After a divorce, you're dating someone who feels safe, but part of you wonders if you're settling.
Safe does not mean that you're settling. Safe is a secure nervous system. We want there to be some element of unpredictability in the bedroom, maybe, in plans, but we don't want you questioning whether or not there will ever be plans. Safety and security do not mean that there will not be chemistry.
You know, safety is so underrated.
You can't have hot without safety. To go to the edge, you need to feel safe.
The name of this game is Cut, Keep, or Redefine. So basically, I'm going to give you a scenario and you tell me if we should cut it, like this relationship needs to end. If we keep it, it's worth investing in, or redefine. It stays, but in a different form.
Okay.
You have a longtime friend, but every time you leave her, you feel drained and slightly judged. Do we cut, keep, or redefine?
Redefine.
Really?
Well, what does redefine mean? You looked very serious there. By redefine, I meant like have a conversation with the friend and let them know that you need things a little different. Or you need to be more demonstrative. You need to take a little bit more responsibility for how those interactions go and not just go there and be passive on the receiving end of somebody who's fire hosing negativity on you. That is such a common issue, by the way.
Yes. Feeling drained, right? Like after you have an interaction with somebody. And that can be romantic or friendship, really. I mean,
yes.
A friend who was there for you in one season of life, but now your values and lifestyles don't align at all. Do we cut, keep, or redefine?
I suppose qualifiers don't count. This is like a very black and white game.
No, you add in whatever you think.
I would think that it depends on the values and the principles. Like, I don't think we can silo ourselves and only be around people who reflect us exactly. I think that is limiting. I think it's unrealistic, and I think it is boring. Half the country wouldn't talk to each other if that were the case. And then in every family, just about, there would be members who couldn't talk to each other. I am done not talking to people. When I say redefine, I say, again, take some responsibility for how those relationships work. And if you don't see them very often, then what's the harm in keeping them?
You notice you're the only one always reaching out, making plans, or keeping the friendship alive.
Redefine. Again, I'm going to land in the middle for everything because I want to negotiate. I want to negotiate for everything. I would say, I feel like I would like you to initiate. Not I feel like. I would like it if you would initiate plans more often. Can you please initiate plans every other time? Period.
And what if the pattern still stays the same? What if they don't change?
How hurtful is it to you? Is it okay for you to be the person that makes that? Maybe that's just your strength. Can that be okay? Maybe we don't have to go 50-50 on everything. But if that feels like it takes away some of your self-worth, then you got to cut it.
You meet someone kind, emotionally available, and consistent, but you don't feel strong chemistry. What do we do?
I think that we often confuse chemistry for uncertainty in society. For there to be a sexual attraction, there needs to be elements that you can't predict. There needs to be uncertainty. So uncertainty is good in small doses, but you can't have a situation where there's absolutely no attraction to each other. You use that as an opportunity to reflect on your own relationship patterns, to learn more about yourself. What is it you associate with excitement? Because sometimes what feels like chemistry is actually anxiety, and it's not good for us.
Is that right? It's really like built up anxiety. Oh,
Hell yeah.
really?
Yeah, because small doses of uncertainty are fine. In the beginning of a relationship, especially, it's necessary in the whole seduction aspect of dating. But if it tips into, I feel unsteady in myself, I feel unsteady in the relationship, I don't really know where I am in the relationship. The problem is that we train ourselves that, oh, this is what the flutters feel like. This is what the fluttering in my chest feels like. This is what attraction feels like. But if that doesn't dissipate over time, then that has actually, and you still tolerate that, you're training your nervous system to tolerate low levels of anxiety over time. And then, if God willing, that relationship ends because it's not going to be a good one for you. And then you get in front of the next consistent human being and you're like, my heart isn't racing. Well, maybe that's an opportunity to do some reparative work on yourself to see if maybe what has happened is you have linked up neurologically anxiety with chemistry. They're not the same thing.
See, it always goes back to that nervous system.
It does.
Always.
Literally everything does.
Everything, everything. The opposite. You feel intense chemistry with someone, but they're inconsistent and slightly avoidant.
Cut.
There we go. You're like, that one is black and white.
Cut and run. No, slightly avoid. No, because here's the thing. You're not changing people. You have to evaluate your partner for who they are today and not who you hope they're going to be or hope they might return to. Who are they today? That is the greatest indicator that in history who they're going to be. And if all the person has shown you is avoidance or inconsistency, if they are unavailable on Friday, suddenly available on Sunday and on Monday making you feel crazy because you were questioning it, no, cut.
Oh, God, this is like what I'm hearing now from friends that have gotten out of relationships and are dating these new people. And it's like, I'm seeing something very different than what you're seeing.
Oh my goodness, turn it into a fun little drinking game at night and just help them swipe left.
Yes, yes, exactly. Like pass, keep going. After a divorce, you're dating someone who feels safe, but part of you wonders if you're settling.
Right, that's common. So that's very similar to the anxiety one that we had. Safe does not mean that you're settling. Safe is a secure nervous system. We don't want your nervous system jittery. We want there to be some element of unpredictability in the bedroom, maybe in plans, but we don't want you questioning whether or not there will ever be plans because the person is that unavailable. So safety and security do not mean that there will not be chemistry. Keep.
Safety is so underrated.
It is so underrated.
Right? It's so underrated. We're always looking for like the hot thing and like the excitement and the passion.
It can be hot. You can't have hot without safety. To go to the edge, you need to feel safe unless you're reckless and you probably haven't lived to be our age if you are. So there must be a foundation of safety to do the wild things.
Good point, particularly in the bedroom.
Yes.
You've done a lot of personal growth on yourself, and now most people around you feel like they haven't. What do you do?
That's such a real problem. So when you've done a lot of work on yourself, the world becomes a very lonely place. I have often fantasized about putting together a dating app where people's relationship skills were ranked and their emotional intelligence was ranked so that people could see each other's EQ and relationship skills and, like, appropriately match with each other. I'm also naming it publicly so that I can come for you if you ever come up with this. Not you, but anybody. Anybody makes this idea. Um, but it's a real problem. It can feel incredibly lonely. You have to find spaces where emotionally intelligent people and people into growth are likely to be, so that you can expand your world. You don't want a clean house. You know, your tribe is very important. You don't need everybody to be uh, I don't know, enlightened. You don't need everyone to be able to have a conversation like the one I can have with you. That would be miserable if you had too many of me in your life. You need like one of me or a half of me, or maybe even a quarter of me. But then a lot of other diversity, you know? So people that are just drinking the Kool-Aid, who understand the language and are conversant in it, but they don't want to go 2 miles deep on every topic the way I do. So you have to find spaces where people are more likely to gravitate who are into personal growth. So go on retreats, growth retreats, you know, go join live classes where people are learning this stuff, where they're learning about emotional intelligence, where they're learning about relationship skills. Find like-minded people. Go, you know, do meetups. And not just the good ones with the Michelin star restaurants. Like I love those too, but they're not always going to get you in contact with people who are going to be able to meet you where you're at and challenge you. Because when you've done that kind of work, you kind of want someone to be able to push on you. You want somebody who can challenge you.
Yeah, you don't want all of yourself,
Right.
right?
It's kind of like being intelligent and being the smartest one in the room. That's a lonely place, I would imagine. I don't often find myself as that person, but I know a lot of people who are the smartest people in the room, and they tell me it's very lonely.
You would think you'd want some, like you're saying, that challenge and that.
You want someone who can press against you and challenge your thoughts and your thinking and your feeling on topics. That's what we want. We want someone who can press back. We want a sparring partner.
Yes. There's nothing better, right?
I don't think there's anything better.
Right? You like that excitement. As long as it's done respectfully, right? Like,
That's why you need safety.
yeah, exactly. See, we love safety. We love it.
Yeah.